Chip, I had the best time this weekend. We crushed it in New York City, if I can be so bold as to say so.
Yeah. 2 girls running around town wearing our Hawaiians. Just
my God.
Sending the energy of New York City, I think changed just a tiny bit this weekend because the 2 of us were in there, and hopefully for the better. We saw a lot of burnt ones, but we got together in New York City this weekend, Thomas.
Yep.
What did we do in under 48 hours? Self-guided tiki tour through the city.
Uh-huh.
So, like, we had a bunch of tiki bars, you and I. I didn't even know there were that many in town.
No, and they were incredible. We've got all the goods on what's worth the time.
Wild.
They all are. We had the best time. We just took that train up and down, to and fro.
Walked through that park in the center of the city. What is that called?
What is it called?
It's like right in the center of the city, that big park.
It's not south. It's kind of east and west. It's
central.
Right.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. Central Park. That's what it is, Thomas.
That's it.
I got it. We walked through Central Park. We didn't take any of those horse-drawn carriages. We were on foot. We were pedestrians. We're saving the horses. And then, Thomas, capping it off, we went to MSG, Madison Square Garden, to see Goose. One of my probably top 10 favorite concerts of all time, if not higher. Goose, if you don't know them, we're gonna talk about them a lot today. Blew me away. It was your first show. It was my second show.
Yeah.
Just blew the roof off of Madison Square Garden. I thought they're going to have to do some structural damage repairs.
Oh, yeah. The garden was destroyed by good vibes.
Almost a 5-hour show, Thomas. 5 hours of Goose.
It was stuffed with Goose.
And a lot of burnt ones in the crowd wearing those Hawaiians.
So many burnt ones, either wearing Hawaiians or wearing the attitude, dude. There was just so much passion, so much good vibes, so many people there just to have a great time. Mm-hmm. We wore Hawaiian shirts all over the city.
Yeah,
we got so much positive response. It was like, I mean, that was, for me in New York City, like I lived there for a while. I've never had that many people talk to me.
No, you're an off-putting person, Thomas, in general.
I know.
If I would see you walking down the street in New York, I would cross to the other side, but not anymore. You're a different person, Thomas.
I mean, remember, we were just like in line waiting to get in someplace, and a couple of ladies walked up and were just like, wow, look at those shirts.
It was a vibe. We put out a vibe that were just friendly, nice guys, and we're a little burnt and from that sun, and they were feeling good. There was a couple in front of us in the line that just got married, and they're chatting us up. They literally came from the courthouse with their parents, and they're just like, look at these guys. These guys are ready to have a good time, which we were.
They came from the courthouse to a tiki bar. You have to wait in line for. Mm-hmm. So we're getting to all that. We're going to tell you fine folks about everything we've been up to in the Big Apple, everything that happened this weekend. This is the Sunburnt Podcast. If you enjoy tropical travel and comedy, stay tuned. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I was wondering if you could send up another maintenance man to fix my air conditioning.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did Ronaldo not get it fixed for you?
I mean, he fixed it, but there was a bit of an issue.
What was the issue?
He is not ticklish at all.
Chip. It is episode 20, Sunburnt Podcast. We are 146 days away from Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise. And we guarantee that experience is going to be our trip to the Big Apple times maybe 2,000, right?
Yeah. Times a ton. We are going to Hawaii this Thanksgiving, and you're coming with us, all right? We're going to Waikiki the week of Thanksgiving 2025. I am performing 2 shows. I'm doing 2 comedy shows at the Blue Note Jazz Club in Waikiki on Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving. We want you to come out. We had such a great time. We met so many cool people in New York. We saw a bunch of burnt ones. If you're thinking, hey, I got a little time to spare, I want to get out. It's going to be cold this winter. It's been a long 2025 already. I need something to look forward to. Come with us. We are going to Hawaii. We want you to come with us. We're going to have a great week together. Just a bunch of fun people wearing our Hawaiians, having a good time, and then come see the comedy show while you're there. It's going to be a blast. I'm after this weekend, I'm so much more energized for the show.
It's going to be incredible. And it's not the biggest venue. There are limited tickets. And we want to pack it out with people who are passionate about just having the best Thanksgiving week of their life. You know, we're going to be doing organizing a couple of hangs. It's not going to be a super rigid thing. But, you know, if you want to go to an absolute tropical paradise where there's going to be some comedy and there's going to be, you know, people that are like-minded, love tropical travel and comedy, doing a couple of hangs, whether it's on the beach or going to see a venue at a certain time, this is the way to do it. And yeah, after the Goose show, I'm just so excited. Like, there was so much shared passion, such a little community that was built in MSG. Yeah. And if we can take that on a micro scale to the islands, it's going to be the best week ever, Chip.
I'm so excited. Well, by the way, you said it wasn't going to be a super rigid schedule. What if we did a different trip to Hawaii with a super rigid schedule? Just an itinerary that you cannot break from. We are in the Hawaiian Islands in paradise, and you better be at breakfast at 6:45 a.m., showered, ready to go.
During sunsets, you are cleaning the latrines.
Yeah, let's do this. This is okay. If you're looking for a fun, laid-back hang, come with us this Thanksgiving. If you want to go to paradise for a very rigid, aggressive itinerary agenda where you have no time to rest, maybe we'll do a trip in 2026 somewhere.
Yeah, scared straight Kauai, real inmates. Very rigid schedule.
Yes.
You're going to change your perspective on what it means to be responsible and what it means to really enjoy your freedom after the trip, because we are taking it away during the journey.
It's outward bound. It's like Troubled Teens, but for adults. You will show up to a resort in the most beautiful place on earth, and we will strip away your belongings, your integrity, your self-worth, and we will drive you, we will break you down, and for an added $1,000, we'll build you back up again.
The building back up, that's a valuable add-on. It's outward bound, and then at the end it becomes homeward bound, because we drop you off in the forest in the middle of the night, and you got to find your way back.
Yeah. By the way, if I was ever, you hear these stories, Thomas, of like somebody, like a hiker that gets lost in the woods, and they're lost in the woods for like a week, and finally they get found. I would be so embarrassed by that. Like if I did that, right? And I'm not taking anything away from hikers. They're out there, they're doing their thing. But like if I was that hiker and I was finally found after like a week, like I'd have just like my beard's longer, tattered clothes. I've lost 10 pounds because I don't know how to forage for myself. I would still, I think, try to play it off.
Oh, absolutely.
The search party's there. The police are there. There's paramedics. There's helicopters. They're like, oh, my God, we found him. And I'm just, like, sitting on a rock clinging to life. And I'm like, oh, hey, guys. Yeah, no, I was just going for a hike. Oh, what time is it? I guess I lost track of time. And I'm just, like, limping towards them. But I would still try. Oh, you happen to have a bottle of water? Let me just suck that down for the first time in 3 days. But I would be so embarrassed. I would just play it off as if nothing happened.
I think my move would be to draw a map, like a crude map of whatever I could see around me. Like if I was like by a stream, there's the stream, and on it would just be a note that says, stay here for, and it's like 2 days, the 2 is crossed out, 3 days, the 3 is crossed out, and 9 days, stay here 9 days. I always planned on staying here 9 days. You happen to be here on the day I wanted to exit. Why don't we go back together?
I'm on walkabout. I'm on a journey of the mind and the soul. And that's what you say. It's not just like, oh, I went for a 2-mile hike and I got lost and it's a week later and I missed everything. Like I think I would definitely bring up the Blair Witch. I would try to convince the people around me that I was chased by the Blair Witch for at least 48 hours. Like, I think that's one of the. Hey guys, I would have been back. I totally would have made it back to the campsite where my car was, but the Blair Witch was in fact chasing me. And unfortunately, I don't have the footage because she stole it from me when I was staring at the wall in her basement.
I completely relate. I have such a strong instinct inside of me to create an excuse than admit something I'm embarrassed about. It's the first 3 things that cross my mind if something's embarrassing.
I actually have to get up right now, and I'm just going to pretend that I'm stretching, Thomas, but I I have to switch something on the old camera, but I'm gonna make it feel like it was just totally natural. Like that was just part of who I am, part of what I'm doing.
What was going on with the camera, Chip?
I just wanted to be able to see myself. Now I can see myself.
Oh, beautiful.
See my sweet little face, and make sure we're still recording. We're still good.
Oh, by the way, you saw my wife briefly this weekend.
And child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you met the baby for the first time. And my wife's comment was, Chip looks like he's dropped a couple lbs. He's looking great.
That's great. And she looked wonderful, as always. It was great to see your wife, it's so funny because it's like we all met at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
Like we met on the same TV show. We all worked together. And you guys started what is the word? What is I want to be sort of like Shakespearean about this, about your courting. You started shacking up, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And now you're happily married with a child. It was so great to see her. And yeah, I think I've dropped a couple lbs since. Man, when you don't have craft services every day and you're sitting at a computer watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta all day, for some reason you can get a little skinnier.
Well, I mean, when you're in charge of craft services, it really is up to your work ethic if you want to gain that weight. You know?
Yeah.
When you're personally in charge of what snacks come in and out, if you don't have the wherewithal or the drive to go get those snacks and put them in a little bowl right by where you do all your work, you're not going to gain weight. You're going to slim down.
But if there is a 5-pound bag of mini Reese's peanut butter cups, I'm eating all of them. I will eat every single one of them.
It's human nature, which is like, and it is something that has to be done. Like that's somebody's job to go get that stuff. Stop it.
Yeah.
That should stop being a job.
We used to make Tyler. Do you remember Tyler, the assistant?
Twizzler Tuesdays or Thursdays?
Twizzlers Tuesdays. We would make him go, and if he didn't have them, we would send him out because it was Twizzler Tuesday, and he would have to go out and get us bags, literally pounds of Twizzlers every Tuesday.
Yeah, for grown-ups.
Just want to throw this out there. This is not necessarily a health and wellness podcast, but I will say, don't eat 3 pounds of Twizzlers every Tuesday. If I can give that piece of advice. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to bulk up, let's say for a role, you're trying to bulk up for, you have some sort of they're doing Heavyweights the musical.
Yeah.
And you really want that part. Then yes, every Tuesday, throw 3 pounds of Twizzlers in your face.
God, how good was Heavyweights?
It's one of those ones that it's a kid's movie to a certain extent, but it's just on another level, on an adult level. Ben Stiller is just incredible.
Yeah. Completely twisted, a very psychotic person to be in a children's movie, dealing with a very sensitive subject.
Yes.
It is unbelievable.
But let's get back to the point of this episode is that I look great.
Chip looks great.
So it was great to see your wife and tell her thank you for I did drop a couple lbs. I'm feeling good about that. Still want to drop a couple more. So today is Tuesday, but not going to have those Twizzies today.
Yeah, we've knocked off the Twizzies.
Yeah, and got to see your kid, which is she's not an infant anymore. She is a child, a person of the world.
She is hurtling towards toddlerism. She can almost walk. I
gave her a couple of fist bumps. She returned the favor.
Yeah, no, she's a big fist bumper. Yep. She won't leave you hanging.
Yeah. No, she did not. And then you and I, Tommy, we went out on the town.
We went out on the town, and you know what I also realized? Roughly 10 years to the day.
Yeah.
Since we started working together, since we met.
I started working, I want to say it was August 10th of 2015. So just about a month off. In a month, it will be a decade since the three of us met. The two of you got married. I got engaged during that right after we came back. It was in the works. I bought the ring.
I remember you talking about the ring in the old writer's room there.
Yeah. So man, 2015, what a year to set us off. And then 10 years later, we just had a weekend for the ages in the largest apple I know. All right. So just real quick, just to remind everybody, what did we do? Bullet points, real quick. Self-guided tiki bar tour. We hung out with a bunch of my college and comedy friends.
Yep.
We went to see Goose.
Yep.
One of my favorite concerts ever. And we're gonna get into it. Do we kick it off with let's go chronologically.
Yeah.
We went with the power of our telephones in our pockets. We were able to discern that there is a number of bars of the tiki persuasion in New York City, and we hit basically every one that was open at 2 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah, we ordered them Pretty Little Maids all in a row. We prioritized highest ratings versus are they even open right now? And we hit all of them.
Yeah.
It was incredible. We started on the Upper West Side.
86th Street, baby.
86th Street. Tiki Chick. Yeah. Chip, I was completely blown away by Tiki Chick.
It's just a corner bar, but it's open air. Mm-hmm. And they have some outdoor seating. They have those like fun, what would you call it, like thatched kind umbrella kind of situation. So like they're giving the tiki vibe outside. We sat inside of the bar, but very like tiled, very tropical looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not drinking a drink unless it is in a fancy tiki shape or color.
No, and they're very upfront on their menu too. They show you the fancy cup that your drink's going to come in.
Because I want to know what I'm going to be holding,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's like, it's dazzling for it's nice to be surprised sometimes.
Yeah.
But if it was coming in just kind of like a clear normal glass, they gave you the heads up. If it was coming in a fun glass, they let you know what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that was most impressive to me about this place was just the casual atmosphere. It was like, of all the places, I think if you were just going to sneak a tiki experience on somebody, this is the one. You could say, meet me at Tiki Chick. They'd obviously know something, but it wouldn't be too weird. It's open air. Most of it's outside. Yes. And the sandwiches, Chip. The sandwiches.
All right, we need to talk about this. They had chicken sandwiches available.
Yeah.
Like I had I think a hot honey one, so it was a little spicy, a little tangy, a little sweet. It just came, and they no frills, just came in one of those little bags, like a little aluminum bag kind of situation that you get a hot dog in middle school. $5 chicken sandwiches on the Upper West Side of New York City, where you're going to pay $45 for a hamburger anywhere else.
Mine was a chicken sandwich, and it had real Chick-fil-A vibes to it.
Yeah.
Like it felt like an elevated Chick-fil-A, and mine had pineapple and then just like a little bit of this kind of bitterish sauce on top of it to counteract the sweetness.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. I can't, a $5 meal in New York City, of course they are leveraging it because you need something to eat. They want to get people in the door, and then tiki drinks are not the cheapest thing in the world.
No.
But it was just amazing. We went in there. We ordered a sandwich first. Just sat there and kind of enjoyed it. Perused the menu. Got our drinks. Everybody that worked there was incredibly nice. They took pictures of us. Did a little photo shoot. Those are going up somewhere.
At our request. It wasn't like they just started filming or taking photos surreptitiously. Like, we asked them to take photos of us.
Yeah.
That would be a little off-putting. If you just went into a bar and started sitting down and the bartender just starts snapping photos of you, that would be... I would say that's in the negative column, but this was
just a guy with a mustache just has a GoPro on you while he's making your drinks.
Just taking some snaps, yeah. Just like a mustachioed man with like one of those old-timey cameras where you have to put like the cloth over your head, just like the flash goes off. No, they were great, and it was nice and quiet too because we literally showed up at noon, I think, on a Friday. So this is midday.
This was not the first bar we showed up to and had to wait for it to open this day, or not the last.
Yeah, we did. There is something about you know how people brag about like closing down a bar. Like, I closed down the bar last night, 3 a.m. We open bars, Thomas. That's our vibe.
Yeah.
We don't close down bars. We open bars. We're good for business. We show up at noon, ready to go. By 2 a.m., I'm asleep, babe. You know what I mean? I don't need. So I think I open up that bar today. We did that a number of times on Friday.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe T-shirts that just say "We open bars." Yeah, we open up the bar. Because that's a more friendly vibe. Closing the bar there's some. I don't know which one is more troublesome.
I think it's opening.
You think opening is sadder because you're you're fiending, you're waiting, you're standing outside waiting to go.
Well, it's like you probably should be working when these bars open.
That is true. That is true.
That is somebody who's, if you consistently do that, that's somebody who's made drinking their business.
Which, to a certain extent, is what we're doing here.
This was technically work. Dude, this was just the best day. It was like we hadn't hung out just to hang out in a really long time. Like, I love it, like, that we make so many things together and that we're always working. But there is, like, generally an element of, like, even if we're catching up, even if we're being pleasant, like, oh, and we need to do this thing.
Yeah, and there is
this thing.
There's a to-do list. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, there was no to-do list. Like, we kind of got together. We knew we were going to hit some spots, some tiki bars, like see what kind of island vibes we could find in the Big Apple. Yeah. But when we got in there, dude, it just flowed so smooth. And I'm not going to say the tiki drinks didn't just take a layer off of like of any kind of like, I don't know, anxiety or any kind of need to feel super productive. Like we just got in there. We had some great snacks. We had when they didn't provide snacks later on in the day, we just ducked into a bodega.
Yes, we did. And got some like, sweet cakes.
We gotta have some tasty treats to take this edge off. But yeah, dude, the whole day just flowed. We had nothing on the schedule. Like when we wanted to take a break and give ourselves a little bit more time, we just took a walk through the entirety of Central Park.
Yeah, we did. We saw it all.
18,000 step afternoon, by the way, Chip. I looked at my phone.
I had, at the end of the night, I had 30,000 steps. That's what I did. Which I think is about 15 miles. Yeah. Yeah. I call us Muppets. We took Manhattan.
Yeah.
I want to get back to the drinks, by the way.
Yeah, let's get into it.
At this first place. My drink, I had to get it. There was like no other choice.
Yeah.
There was a ceramic shark glass.
Yeah.
So it's literally like as if the shark's jumping up from the cover of Jaws, my favorite movie. So it's like I had to get it. It was a drink called Shark Snacks. Rum, tequila, apricot. First of all, apricot. We're going to get into that in a second.
Yep.
Rum, tequila, apricot, coconut, grapefruit, and lime. It dumped into a ceramic shark's mouth, and then they had like a little toothpick there was like a little gummy fish on it and something else, like a little candy, a little garnish, a little something fun. Delicious. Okay, first of all, an apricot on the Upper West Side. I don't even know what an apricot looks like, Thomas. I'm going to be honest with you. Who dreams up an apricot as part of a drink? I guess there's like apricot brandy or whatever, but I mean, going the extra mile.
Yeah, it's also pretty strong, I would have to imagine. It gave the whole thing a little life.
It did. It woke me up. There was definitely a lot of coconut feel to it. Like that's what I gleaned most from this thing. But it was like a fun. It was just a fun. It was a fun drink to walk around with. Got a little straw out of the shark's mouth.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, by the way. One issue with bars, alcohol, is sometimes people get a little. They get a little alky in them, and they get a little violent, right?
Right.
You might be an angry drunk.
Yeah.
If you're walking around with a ceramic shark glass, or let's say like a glass that's like shaped like a Polynesian lady with an umbrella sticking out of it, you're not getting violent. I think I think every bar should lean into the tiki vibe, and just I don't care if you're drinking whiskey, if you're drinking beer, or if you're drinking a Bahama Mama. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it goes in the glass. You get some ice. You get an umbrella. You get like a slice of, like a little slice of orange or whatever. And people will be a lot more peaceful. You can't be angry when you're drinking that.
Yeah, I mean, and you can get very angry, but you're well aware of how silly you would look.
Yes.
Like, drinking, I'm just spitballing here, but drinking whiskey on the rocks out of a Bart Simpson mug.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty hard. Like, what'd you say to me?
Yeah. Eat my shorts. It's not coming to that.
Yeah.
You look like a silly giant boy.
When you were holding that giant shark mug, that giant shark cup, it was very clear that the aggressive one in the relationship was the mug, not the man.
It's the mug, not the man. 100%.
At the Tiki Chick, I went with their classic Mai Tai.
Yeah.
And it was super delicious. It was lime-based. That was kind of the citrus in it. So it wasn't like what I would consider the classic, like Hawaiian Waikiki Mai Tai.
Right.
That is going to be more of a pineapple juice and orange juice, a guava base.
Sure.
For the juice portion. And then heavy on the rums. This was definitely also heavy on the rums, but it just has like a little more, a little less sweetness to it than I would say a Waikiki Mai Tai would.
Which I do appreciate, because that is one thing after our afternoon, like we had a bunch of drinks and it wasn't just the alcohol, but like we had a lot of that sweet sugar in us.
We were little sugar babies.
I love a margarita, for example, but like my favorite margaritas that I know, like in Philadelphia, for example, are like the least sweet ones. You can't have a too sweet margarita. You got to be a little bitter, you got to take that sweetness away. It's too much after a while. So so I do appreciate that. And by the way, and at this place they were also showing movies on the wall. They were just projecting beach movie. I think they were actually showing Titanic when we were there.
They were showing Titanic when we were there, but I saw them. They had like some kind of streaming service. And you could see what they had watched recently. They were cruising through it, and Jaws was definitely what they were watching either the day before or whatever. It was the last one watched.
But this is just what it is. We're in the hustle and bustle of Manhattan, of New York City, Upper West Side, but then you're just you walk in this bar, and you're transformed. You're in a different place. We were in a tropical location for about an hour.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So we leave Tiki Chick.
Yep.
Had some fun there. We head out. We walk through Central Park. Had a blast at Central Park. Checking it all out. Watching all the people. They're having a great time. We saw a lot of burnt ones through there. Just guys in their Hawaiian shirts walking around enjoying Central Park on a Friday. Which was great.
We took a lot of pictures. We took a lot of pictures of people that did not know they were getting pictures taken.
Okay, and by the way, so we're taking pictures of people in their Hawaiian shirts. We're both wearing Hawaiian shirts. We're just, and by the way, like, what do you I think they're probably used to it at Tiki Chick, but like just two grown men in Hawaiian shirts.
We were the only two non-employees there wearing Hawaiian shirts. Yeah. We dressed up for the occasion, and I think you got to.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So we're just walking around, but we just brought a vibe to New York City, I think, of just two gentlemen walking around in their shorts and Hawaiian shirts. Saying, hey, we're just here to have a good time. We're just here to have fun, guys. That's all we're here to do. And not getting crazy, just enjoying ourselves. So then we ended up at 30 Rock. We're walking around 30 Rock for a while. And we're looking for our next tiki bar. The one tiki bar we wanted to go to was closed temporarily. Hopefully for renovations to make it
It said
better.
renos. I went on their website, closed for renovations.
So they're just going to make it even more tiki-ish. Yeah. Then we decide to planes, trains, and automobiles jump in to the subway.
Yep.
Head out to the most tropical place you can imagine.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York, where the palm trees sway.
Yeah.
And the ocean breezes gently glide over your face. By the way, like it was this wasn't the hottest day by any means. We got spared.
Yeah.
But boy, has it been hot and humid on the East Coast.
You were in for the week, DC and New York. Like, you definitely got some of that swamp action. And apologies from everybody on the East Coast. It was a scorcher this week.
Yeah, it was a swamper, but we got a little reprieve on our big walk day, so I feel very lucky for that.
Yeah.
But the next place we went, we hopped right on that sweet little train.
Yep.
We actually had one misstep. We were heading towards a tiki bar that would not open for a couple of hours.
Yeah. So I thought, by the way, I was a little upset. I was like, maybe this day isn't just meant to be. We hit one tiki bar and that's it. They're all going to be closed. But we regrouped.
regrouped.
We found a second tiki bar in Brooklyn.
They were the two that looked worth hitting. They were just like in distance order. We were going to hit Sunken Harbor Club first.
Yep.
And then go to the Zombie Hut.
Yeah.
What a great name, the Zombie Hut.
Come on. It's you can look at stores nowadays and you can just look at a building that might be like a restaurant or a diner or even a dentist's office, and you're like, you can just tell that used to be a zombie hut. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we ended up at the Zombie Hut in downtown Brooklyn.
This was more down and dirty. This is your Brooklyn straight up bar, like bar front. You walk in, the bar's on the right, a couple of chairs on your left, but it is all hardcore tiki voodoo themed.
Yeah, it's got a great little backyard area too that was
Yes,
like
it did.
themed up, had some nice decorations outdoors as well. Indoor had some really fun art, some murals on the walls, some paintings, some little some little tiki touches here and there. And once again, we were there very early on a Friday, so it was practically empty.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the drink we got, Chip? We both got, like, there was a big menu that had drinks all around the outside, and then they had one specialty. Yeah.
But we're like, we both have to get this one because it was like their signature drink. We both got the frozen zombie.
The frozen zombie. Yeah, that was it. It was the frozen zombie.
The frozen zombie is rum, just lots of rum, pineapple, and OJ. I mean, just like, and then just blended frozen drink in a straw with a rim. You know, like to put the salted rim out there, like on a marg or whatever. We still to this day, Thomas, don't know what
I
what
couldn't
that
figure it out. Well, it's when we invented the weirdest tropical drinks we could a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
The Bahama Grandmama, which was your creation, had a what was the rim? It was like cough drops or mothballs.
Oh, yeah, I think it was cough yeah, I think it was
cough drop rim.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me those were crushed up hulls on the rim of that glass, I would not be shocked. But I will also
I was
tell
tasting
you,
some mentholyptus. Yeah.
I will also tell you, for my second drink of the day, I'd already had a little alcohol on the palate.
Yeah.
You remember, like, I took one sip of this thing and I was like, this is straight gasoline. Like,
it's so funny. It literally said, I was looking on the website on the menu. It literally says, watch out for that first sip.
Oh,
literally,
really?
that's what it said. Yes.
Oh, wow. So I didn't get that memo.
I saw that after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah. But you I thought you really handled that first half of the drink like an absolute champ. I was struggling a little bit, but when I got about halfway through that baddie, it started to go down so smooth, Chip.
It went down. That zombie was frozen. It was a frozen delight, just like an orange slushy going down real good. But that rim, like, and I was just like, I had to get all of the rim. Like, it was, was it like pineapple lifesavers? Was it like frozen orange juice concentrate? It was very, like, it could have been Pop Rocks for all I care. Just like diced up nerds.
Yeah, diced up nerds. That
like,
could be it.
Like some sort of like exotic Japanese Jolly Rancher that they just
that's what I'm
up.
going with. An exotic Japanese Jolly Rancher. It was a mystery hard candy or a mystery hard cough drop, whatever it was. It was mysterious, and I wouldn't exactly say it was more intriguing than delicious.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the most delicious thing, but it was like I felt like I was doing something adventurous by, tasting this rim, because it wasn't like, oh, this is very delicious. It was like, I'm trying to discern what this is. I'm throwing it out there. I shouldn't give our ideas out publicly, but if you and I open a bar, I think the rims, I think we can make that a thing. Like it's like the stuffed crust of pizza, but it's like we put Pop Rocks on there. We put nerds. Like, what if it's just like, hey, crushed up cough drops for somebody who needs, a little lozenge, Is it just, or like just for the crazy ones, it's like, all right, it's a vodka Red Bull with crushed up Adderall on the rim. Just like let them have, or just like, oh, what do we have here? Just like for your, if you like for your nostalgic people, it's like it's Kool-Aid and gin, and on the rim is just crushed up old Star Wars figures. Just grinded up G.I. Joes. we just throw on there. It's just maybe it's like a country theme where it's like, whiskey lemonade, and it's just we just put gravel on the rim.
Yeah, a blue collar rim.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just. I think that's what we do. It's all about the rims. And by the way, I am not about to brainstorm what we name this bar. So let's skip that. But
what the employment title would be for somebody who came up with these toppings.
Exactly. Let's just move on to that. So, but Zombie Hut, man, just what a great bar. I think somebody told us afterwards that they knew somebody who would go there all the time in Brooklyn.
Yeah, my wife was hanging out with her best friend from high school who lives in New York City, and her husband grew up in New York, and he was like, yeah, I used to go there with my friends in high school. That street was the only place you could go where like they surely weren't going to card you. He's like, I've been to the Zombie Hut a billion times since I was 16 years old.
As a youngster, what a fun place to be as a drunken teenager, man.
Yeah, I mean, there seemed like a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities to get into that kind of stuff in the city. Back in the day, it was just one big Gossip Girl episode, Chip. They were all running around.
That's all it was.
Wealthy, fake IDs.
Yeah.
Really living the dream. And I will say, I think it did say there was something mysterious on the menu. It was like our secret recipe or whatever.
Yeah.
I think 100% in my mind, the orange juice was not orange juice. I think it was orange juice concentrate.
Yeah.
They really blasted that thing with orange flavor.
Yeah.
To get that amount of alcohol kind of like swirling around in it. This was by far the heaviest drink we had of the day, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was. Yeah. It threw me for a little bit of a loop in a good way.
Yeah, but the conversation was just flowing. It really loosened things up. We were having the best time, just telling stories. The
Sitting
music
in the back
there,
room. Yeah.
The music in there wasn't what you would expect. It wasn't like anything island themed. It was just kind of like some great alternative music from our high school days, basically college days.
They probably saw us walking in. And they're like, "Put Stone Temple Pilots on stat."
Yeah. Well, I think like. I don't think they as much saw us walking in as they knew we are the types of people that are going to walk in on this Friday afternoon.
At 3:30 on a Friday.
At 3:30, just going to be blazing a Hawaiian, order our stiffest drink.
Yep.
Sit out in the back, only have one, then go hit the bodega next door and walk off. However many, if you had to guess, how many shots or what the equivalent of just a normal drink like a rum and Coke would be alcohol content wise compared to the drink we had at the Zombie Hut, what would you guess, Chip? Just in your mind.
I'd say thrice.
Exactly.
Thrice the shots.
I thought that drink felt like about 3 drinks worth of drinks.
Yeah, and it wasn't a big drink either. It was kind of small, and they fit a lot of rum in there, baby.
Yeah, they rummed it up, but what a great time, and I was definitely feeling a little something. We had a buzz. I wasn't drunk by any means.
No, not at all. I never during the day, but just a nice buzz. And that's the way to do it. I think people think like bar crawls and all that stuff, and you see some of these like they do like the Aaron Express in Philadelphia, the St. Patrick's Day, or they do like everybody dresses up like Santa Claus and just gets wasted, and it's like 23-year-olds, and they're just obliterated. It's like that's not the vibe we're looking for. It's just like let's just create a buzz throughout the day.
Yeah.
So we get through 2 places with that nice buzz on. We go to the bodega, and then see, here's what it is, Thomas, and I want the listeners to really pick up on this because I'm not always a yes man.
Yep.
I was on the fence because I then had to you had to go back to your wife. I had to go back to Hoboken to my buddies where I was staying there. And you're like, all right, this next place doesn't open till 5. It was only like 4:15, and we're like, it was like 1 subway stop away or something, and we're just like, let's just head back. Like part of me was like, no, let's just head back. We hit 2 nice places, but fine. And then I was like, no, we're here. Let's do it. Let's go to this 3rd place. I guess so.
Yeah.
And the biggest payoff of the weekend, maybe.
One of the coolest places I've ever been in my whole life, dude.
Yeah.
We get to the place. It's, about to open. It's like 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a wife and a baby that are expecting to have dinner with me around 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of have to put a limit on it. I'm like, if we don't get up there by 5:15, we probably just need to scoot. You agreed.
I'm not a stand in line for a bar type of guy.
Yeah, never really
I don't
have
need
been.
that. Yeah. And so part of me was hoping the line was going to move, and then part of me was like, all right, hopefully we just hit 5:15, we get out of here.
Yeah.
Like
so
that was
there's no sign for this place either. And there's no indication that this line is going to the bar. We kind of have to ask around.
So it's in front of this very nice bar restaurant.
Very nice restaurant. Yeah.
Like high-end bar restaurant, like, wood, kind of mahogany, kind of like, dark wood, and beautiful. So we're lined up out inside of it, and then we see that inside the bar that there is maybe 10 more people inside still lined up to go into another door that takes you upstairs to this mysterious, unmarked other place.
That was a disheartening moment when we realized that we weren't fourth in line. We were like 14th. I was just like, God, I don't know if we're going to get in there by 5:15. They were supposed to start taking people up at 5. That did not happen immediately. Yeah. But we get inside, and then it's just this beautiful old school diner, what you think like Charlie Chaplin would have ate at when he went and visited New York. It's just like
high-end,
old school crystal chandelier type of place. And there is this little door that like you walk inside and turn to the left, and there's a door, and it's got a port window.
Yeah.
Like a ship
porthole.
or a submarine.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, that's it. There's no indication that anything's up there other than just this little detail on the door. We wait our turn in line. We finally get upstairs, and we are whisked away into like a Disney level decorated experience.
You know how like when you're waiting in line to go to like Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever, and they try to dress it up to make you feel like you're in there, so you realize you're not just standing in a line for an hour and a half. It was that, but the highest end version of that.
Wow, what an experience. And it's so intimate too. Like, what would you say, like 12 tables total for the whole place?
Yeah, probably 25 people maybe. There was a small bar, and then maybe 8 tables. And it's one of those places that I do appreciate. So it's kind of like a speakeasy kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I guess we should tell. So it's called the Sunken Harbor Club. Sunken Harbor Club, Brooklyn, New York. And you had to be seated. So the hostess, she would take you up one party at a time. So it wasn't just like they opened the doors and it was free for all. She's like, how many in your party? And then she takes you up the stairs and you get seated. It's not one of these places where I appreciate this, where it's like a bar where you can just like stand around and walk around. It's like you have a seat. This is where you're sitting.
You're not going to have to fight for a bartender's attention.
No, there is a wait staff there for you.
There's a place for you to be, or you're not getting in.
Right. And so, and that was the thing. The very nice women behind us who, again, started chatting us up just because we're wearing Hawaiians, complimented our shirts. We're giving off a vibe that we're not animals. We're nice enough people.
We're not predators.
No. And we are prey. And we got in. They didn't get in until we were leaving. Like we were like the last table of the first seating.
Yep.
So we sit down, and so you were just surrounded. It felt like you were in. There's no windows.
Yep.
So it's dark, and you're inside the hull of a ship, and it almost felt like the ship was like almost like upside down or whatever. Like there's just wood all over, and then just these windows that look like you were looking out into the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
With just mermaids and divers and fish, just all over the place. They had really cool music playing, like kind of surf, tropical sort of music.
Yeah.
And then over top of that music, they also had, and you were the one that alerted me to this, it was just the sound of waves crashing on the beach.
Yeah.
Just being piped in. And it just made it feel so cozy and so tropical. It was the coolest vibe. I was just like, this is amazing. And it's like kind of blue, red, dark lighting.
Yeah.
And it was upscale, but it was fun. It wasn't hoity-toity. We were a little underdressed, I felt like, even though we were wearing our Hawaiians and some other people were. I was like, oh, are they going to let us in? We're wearing baseball caps or whatever. And they were so nice and so friendly.
Uh-huh.
And then we go to order drinks, and I love the drink menu.
Yep.
It had 3 levels. Like they're not mincing words here. They're not trying to trick you. They're like, look, here are the 3 levels, and they even the waitress even told us this. She's like, all right, here are the 3 levels. In the Shallows was the first level. Then you turn the page and it was the Twilight Zone, and then the 3rd level was the Abyss.
Yeah.
In the Shallows were just some nice tropical drinks. The Twilight Zone, these are heavy hitter drinks.
Uh-huh.
And by the time you get to that 3rd page, the Abyss drinks, these are just lights out, heavy alcohol content, no holds barred.
I appreciated it, man. I really did appreciate the detail they broke it down in, and the honesty. It's like this one you're gonna feel a little something. This one you're gonna feel a lot. This one you're gonna black out if you have 2 of them.
Exactly. And so they let us up. We had already had a couple of drinks to the day. We were kind of wrapping up our day. So we both stayed in the Shallows, I believe. I did, at least. I got El Diablo.
Yeah.
Which was tequila, raspberry, blackcurrant, and that little heat for El Diablo was fresh ginger. They had fresh ginger in there, which is just, I'll take a ginger drink any day. A Moscow Mule or whatever, a little ginger.
Yeah.
Boom. Felt good. And my favorite part of El Diablo, and this was the fun part. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember this? Do you remember what happened?
I do.
She brings us our drinks. She gives you yours. And then she gives me mine, which is this like big, like, it was like a goblet.
Yeah.
It was on the rocks. And she's like, she like hands it to me, but then takes it away. And she's like, if you drink this, it's called El Diablo. It's the devil's name. You have to call out the devil's name. So you have to repeat after me. And she just goes, El Diablo. And the entire bar turned red.
Yeah.
So the bartender or somebody was there waiting when she yells El Diablo and I yell El Diablo. The lights just go all red like we are in hell. It was, I was like, I'm a grown man, and the pageantry was... The pageantry was just beautiful, and the whole place turned red. People cheered. I got my El Diablo, and it was delicious.
And I think there was a hallmark of the whole weekend, like with Goose, the concert we went to, we're talking about next. You don't go to the Sunken Harbor Club. You don't wait in line. You don't walk up those stairs and walk into that room to have a bad time.
No.
If you're in a bad mood, you stay home or you do something else. Every single person there was vibing. They were so excited to be there. Mm-hmm. They were passionate about it. They thought it was going to be a fun time. It felt like a little community. Like, we didn't know the guys sitting next to us, but they were having the time of their lives.
They were having a blast. The people in front of us in line, they just got married, and the parents were there, so they're celebrating that.
Yeah,
and they were just
literally
the
their
people.
first stop after tying the knot was to leave the venue and go to the Sunken Harbor Club with their parents, who didn't speak like the most English, but were very, very nice.
Yes, yeah. That was
it was that type of vibe. The community in there was insane. I just remember like us chatting. We're just like, this is it. Like, this is what we want to create. This is what we want the podcast to be about. You take this and add on a floater of comedy, and that's what we're shooting for. We want to create that vibe where people can just come, have a great time, relax, focus on the positive stuff in their life. And that's exactly what everybody in there was doing. So I don't know, like, one of my favorite, not just tiki bars, but one of my favorite bars I've ever been to in my whole life, the Sunken Harbor Club. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that probably a top five experience. I want to bring the wife up there sometime, and we're gonna go. I'm not even gonna tell her about it. We're just gonna wait in line. She's like, "Why are we waiting in line for this?" I was like, "Trust me, it's worth it."
Chip, you're full of surprises.
Okay, speaking of full of surprises, we got to get to this.
Well, before we get to this, I think as we transition, I got a question for you, bud.
Ooh,
are you feeling like one today?
You know, it was a little cloudy out earlier, and the sun has come out, and I can see through my window. I'm feeling like one right now.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Got
putting that lotion on.
Going.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And this was also how we started off. I remember you stopped over at my hotel room, hung out with the wife and the baby for a little bit, and before we stepped out into that big, bad city, you were just like, we got a sunscreen up, dude.
I'm nothing if not responsible.
We did it. We slathered it on and really set the tone for the whole day. God, I love that, dude. It's This Hawaiian Tropic, the first time, I mean, I never used it before, but the first time I got it was at an ABC store in Waikiki. The first time I went there, it is just so tied to Hawaii for me.
Yep.
That exact smell. God, I'm feeling it, dude. I'm feeling good.
All right. Speaking of feeling good.
Yeah.
So I saw you on Friday.
Yep.
And then we get together on Saturday
Yeah, we
for
did.
the event of the weekend of the ages. The reason I was up there for the to start out with, you and I went to see Goose, the band Goose, at Madison Square Garden. My first concert at Madison Square Garden. I've been told about the lore of it. You know, of course, you know Madison Square Garden. I didn't really buy it. Like, I've been to hundreds of concerts in my day. I was like, what's so special about it? You walk into that room and you're just like, okay, this is a special thing, you know? And so we were there with two of my fraternity brothers, Brian and Chris, the best dudes. We actually saw my other fraternity brother, Rob, who was there with his two kids. He's bringing his children with him to see the, like, that's the vibe.
The vibe of everybody was off the charts too. Like, I mean, this is a passion of theirs. Huge Goose fans. Like, a meaningful thing in their life is this band, and it was so awesome to, like, you know, get to experience it with them, have that energy vibrating off of me, like, just really set the tone for everything with those guys who have been to a million shows and just are part of that community, and just so excited to jump back into that environment.
So, and I don't want to cause any trouble here. I don't want to cause controversy, or maybe I do. So if you don't know Goose is they sort of call themselves, I think they call it like indie funk. I think that's what somebody heard. They want to just throw out names. For all intents and purposes, I'll call them a jam band. They are a jam band, much like Fish. That's what they do. I was a big Fish fan in college, and still to this day, sort of. I'm actually going to see Fish in a couple of weeks, but I haven't seen them in a while. But I'm going to see them. But they are a band that it's just positive vibes.
Yeah.
If you're like, if I just said the word jam band and you just shut off the podcast, you're just like, I'm not going to listen to these, give Goose a chance. They are so much fun, positive, but great music. And I think it's very accessible too. It's like, yes, they will jam for 15 minutes on something, but I think their songs are like, there's a pop element to it. Yeah. Very catchy. I went begrudgingly to see Goose exactly 1 year before the night we were there. I was at the Mann Music Center in Philadelphia. My buddy Brian, one of my fraternity brothers, kind of twisted my arm to go. We went, and I was blown away. And I just immediately became a fan. And then it was just, the other night was just reinforced about, like, this was a spiritual experience that they put on for 4.5 hours.
And I love fandom. I love things people can get excited about, and I love why people would. But, like, it was amazing to step into that world because there's a vocabulary. Yep. There's, like, a shared excitement. There was, like, an expectation of what they might see, what they might not see, and people were kind of on the edge of their seat waiting to see what was going to happen. It's like a whole thing, and, like, people have really dissected the experience of going to these types of concerts. And have made it so important and so meaningful to them. Aside from the music and liking all that stuff, like, everybody I talked to, Goose could have gone out there and just played an off-key tuba hit for a while. And I think all these people would have still found something to enjoy about it, just in being together, being excited, seeing this group. Like, there was something a little bigger than a concert that was happening.
Yeah, it was. It brought me back to my days, like when I was in high school and college, and I would go to see Fish, and where it is just this community of, like, people hanging out beforehand, people getting together. Like, everybody's wearing Goose T-shirts, but, like, they're all wearing, like, their own variety of it, like, because they're like funny shirts, or, like, you know, the reference to this or that. Yeah. And so it's and a lot of burnt ones, a lot of Hawaiians walking around, guys in Hawaiians walking around, which was great. But it is just a community where, like, there, I mean, as far as I saw, no fights, there's no aggression. It's 20,000 people in a room coming together, just ready to get blown away. Yeah. And they're just having fun. And it was just that. I'll say this. I was thinking about this as I'm watching the show. Yeah. The Goose show the other night, it was the opposite of the internet. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. It was if you are looking for an experience that is the opposite of what the internet brings you in 2025. This is what it was. People aren't really on their phones. I mean, some people taking some pictures or videos or whatever.
That was wild. There was so little phone use. I was really surped.
Yeah. And you go to a lot of concerts these days and people are like texting or they're on their phone or their video. It's like, we are here for this experience. Let's put that all away. Everybody's just here in person. Nobody's on one side or the other. They're not fighting. They're not angry. They're not getting outraged. They're not flipping through videos of like some Karen getting arrested or people screaming at each other. It was the exact opposite of the internet, of just 20,000 of us are going to come together in this one room and just dance like nobody's watching and have a blast. And Goose just brought a show. So there are reports, I don't know how official it is, but there are people saying that it set the record for the longest single artist performance in Madison Square Garden history.
I would believe it.
They started at 7:50. So I think it was a 7:30 show. They started officially at 7:50. They did two sets. They had the intermission. So the intermission, I don't know, 20 minutes. I forget. Yeah. And then, a little break before the encore. But they got off stage at 12:29 a.m. So they went from 7:50 until basically 12:30. And
it's a lot of jamming, Chip.
A lot of jamming. At one point, it was as if they were assaulting us with music. Like, it was just like they had a point to prove, I think, the other night. And they proved that point. They were just like, I thought the show was over at one point, and then they went another 45 minutes, and it was great. Like it was
no
just
complaints.
No, it was they just kept going, and they kept the energy up. They kept the vibe up. They brought that horn section out a couple of times. Great horn section, and man, just had a blast. They did a bunch of covers. Yeah, Shamalama Ding Dong. They did Kate Bush Running Up That Hill, which is great cover. A couple others.
What a great tune.
What a great tune. And they made it their own. And it was just the best time. And then just everybody leaving Madison Square Garden at 12:30 at night. Just nobody like flipping over cars, causing trouble, setting fire. It was just like, we just had the best time. We're kind of exhausted, but we're loving life. And it was that positive vibe. And that's kind of what I like to go for in my comedy. And it's just like, I just want fun, nice people there. Like, if you're going to be a dick, if you're there to be an asshole, like, I don't need you at my show. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I just want fun people to be here that are in on it, that are having a good time. And we escaped reality for about 5 or 6 hours that night. And then I felt bad too. I was there with my buddies Chris and Brian and their friend Kush. You were relegated to another section. We didn't get to sit together because of the tickets. You sat with my friend James Heskey, former comedian, very funny guy of Queens, New York. Yeah. And you got the full Heskey experience, I hope.
I did get the full Heskey experience. I loved it. I love hanging out with comedians, like, first of all. And, like, a former comedian, he hasn't got up on stage for a while. I think he still has that itch.
He's still funny.
I think he still has it in him. I think he just, he went back to school. He was focusing on some stuff. We were even talking about it. Like, it's just a super funny guy. Like, I loved hanging out with him. I'm like, and you're really just done? Like, you're not going to? And he's like, I don't know.
See? I like that little just elbow him in the ribs about it, And, and that was my favorite thing, too, because it was, like, just fun, because it's like, I'm bringing my worlds together. It's like some college friends, some stand-up friends, some TV friends, and it's like, are they going to get along? Are they going to do it? And it was like, everybody, I think, just vibed and had the best time, and it was just like, that is such a payoff to me of, like, bringing these worlds together. Now it's like, oh, you guys are friends, and they're talking, and then, like, they're going to get together, and it's just, we made some connections this weekend, Thomas, and we networked non-business wise. Do you know what I mean? We did some networking for life. That's what we did.
Networking for life. And dude, we
didn't network. We net fund is what we did.
Yes. We net vacationed. Vacationed. It's not networking.
Yeah.
It's vacationing. And just laid the ground for the vibe we want to bring into Chip Chantu's Thanksgiving in Paradise.
Yeah. Exactly.
This Thanksgiving, I was so inspired. I remember sitting there, as much as, like, I loved the music and everything else. I just had these visions. I was like, this is the vibe we're shooting for, that we're going to bring to this event in Hawaii, to a whole week. regardless, like we truly hope a bunch of people come with us who have the shared goal of just having an unbelievable week. But at the very least, it's just like we're gonna have way more friends than that are already coming.
Yeah.
To Thanksgiving in Paradise, Chip Chantries. So we're at least gonna have that level of fun. Plus, we're gonna be in Hawaii, and we're gonna be there for close to a week, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna bring that Goose vibe.
That's what we're heading into
the island.
And nobody's going to be there to have a bad time. Everybody's coming. They're putting some cash on the line.
Yep.
They're making plans. They're taking like their holiday days off to use for this experience in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. The weather's going to be phenomenal when it's not phenomenal almost anywhere else. And all of those things are on top of the baseline we kind of had at this Goose thing. We had a great event we were going for. It's going to be your stand-up show. We explored Manhattan to the nth degree. We went on that tiki bar tour. We walked all over the place. And then we hung out with new friends.
Yeah.
And just like, you can just feel it. Like bonds getting formed, little spiritual families getting formed, just in the name of having a great time and sharing some shared passions in an interesting place. Like, that's it. That's what I want to do with my time on this earth, is try and have as many experiences like that as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited that that's what we're doing with this fall, this year, building up to that with this podcast. I don't know. Unbridled enthusiasm from me.
I don't want to pull the curtain up too much, but there are talks that you and I might try to do some tiki bar tours in some other cities and maybe bring some friends along.
Oh, absolutely. Like that's definitely how. It was just so fun, Chip. It was such an interesting way to see a city.
Yeah.
And there's we ran into the nicest, most friendly people and had a good time. And and we got to have a little buzz. We got to have a little buzz for basically a whole Friday.
Exactly.
And
Friday bus, babe.
I was home completely sober for dinner.
Yeah. We timed that buzz perfectly.
It was a really nice time. But yeah, no, we'll definitely do some more of that. It was just such a fun experience. And we'll figure it out. We've got it. We can expand it, make it a little bigger, bring some other folks along.
Yep.
Maybe find different ways to capture it. I don't know, but like that there's some times in your life where you're just like, that's a thing. That felt like a thing for us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have crushed it on time. We have just been chugging along.
We are like Goose at Madison Square Garden. We have passed curfew.
Yes. And that means we only got 45 minutes left. So buckle up.
Yeah. Here we go. Into the jam.
Okay, Matt. Well, dude, it was so good hanging out this weekend.
Such a fun
I had
time.
an unbelievable time. Chip Chantry, Thanksgiving in Paradise. You can find tickets on sunburntpodcast.com or bluenotehawaii.com.
Yeah.
November 26th, there's an early show and a late show, and tickets are going.
Yep.
Tickets have started moving. I just got confirmation the other day that like another group of buddies that I know have are committing. They're like figuring out their hotel accommodations.
Awesome.
So like that's some more tickets out the door.
Yep.
And if this is something you're interested in, please get your tickets, get your flights.
Talk to some friends. You're gonna meet some new friends in Hawaii this Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, just very cool people are coming, at least from our world, and it's like it's gonna be a fairly intimate thing. This is not the biggest club in the world.
No,
we're doing 2 shows. If you want to be part of that, come on out. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a great time. This weekend was just like a little precursor. It works. It was amazing, and I think we're just stepping up to this bigger experience coming in the fall, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right, buddy.
This has been the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about tropical travel and comedy. Until next time, stay burnt. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I was wondering if you could send up another maintenance man.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did Ronaldo not get it fixed for you?
I mean, he fixed it, but there was a bit of an issue.
What was the issue?
He is not ticklish at all.
I'll be right up.